What's good, YouTube? It's your boy P Money. So the Blazers win in ugly fashion, in my opinion, where mostly their shots really don't fall, other than from three-point land, in which they make 19 on the night. But very physical and aggressive defense held the Clippers to only 92 points. Paul George did his thing last night, but there was only one other player in double figures, and that was Luke Kennard, who's becoming kind of a little bit of a Blazers killer. But even him, he was, I think he had 13 points, but he needed 15 shots to get there. So overall, excellent defense from the Blazers. In the first quarter, the Clippers started off very strong. I think they went 5 for 5 to start the game, and ended up hitting only 8 shots, but 7 of those were from 3. And it was the PG show from the very start. They ended up going on a 20-5 run, but ended up going cold thanks to the Blazers defense. And they shoot only 34% from the field while dishing out 8 assists. The Blazers get Norm Powell back, and he had a very big impact in this game. As I was saying, the Blazers play great defense, other than allowing 7 3-pointers made in that first quarter. The bench impact was huge in that first quarter. Ant gets a 3, Nance drawing a foul, and Zeller getting a tip shot to end the quarter to help the Blazers go up 25-24. In the second, PG continues his deadly assault, scoring 11 in the quarter and keeping the Clippers in the game because no one else on the team can hit a shot. Their defense, though, holds the Blazers to only 35% from the field, and that helps. But the 3-ball for the Blazers in that quarter was on display. The Clippers need much more from someone else if they have any shot in this game, and it was very apparent in that first half. The Blazers end up hitting 6 threes in the quarter, 2 apiece from Norm and Robert Covington, and they helped to push the lead to as many as 13 points in that quarter. The Blazers hold the Clippers to only 16 points, with 11 of those coming from PG. So it's a common thing right now for the Blazers that they're pretty much holding everyone under their averages, except for Paul George tonight. Blazers bench players play very well, especially Cody Zeller with 5 points in the quarter. CJ struggles pretty much all night, but Dame leads the way with 10 points and had both Norm and Covington chip in 3 threes for the half. So the Blazers end up going 48-40 into halftime. But it was looking like one of those low-scoring games. But in the third quarter, the Clippers look like they might be down and out, going down by as many as 20. But they go on a huge 17-2 run, led by Paul George's 15 points. And Luke Kennard actually comes a little bit alive, hitting a couple of shots. But they still can't stop the 3-point attack that the Blazers were using. For the Blazers, their 3-point barrage just keeps pulling them out of harm's way. They would keep hitting timely threes all night. They ended up taking a 76-67 lead into the fourth quarter. But Dame actually starts, hitting his shots and ended up going a little bit over 50% tonight. Nurk also in that third quarter starts getting involved with the pick and roll. And Cody Zeller also continues to be impressive. And he ended up with 9 points after the third quarter. So it was beautiful basketball to watch in terms of the defense and how physical it was for both teams. The Clippers are definitely a scrappy team. They're not going to be the greatest scoring team right now without Kawhi Leonard. So them locking in on the defensive end, it's going to be a must. But they had a lot of lapses from three-point land. The Blazers got a lot of open threes tonight, and they ended up hitting them, at a 46% clip. And also, the Blazers rebounding was huge in this game. They go plus 20 rebounds overall, and I believe it was like a plus 6 or plus 7 in the offensive rebound department. Also, the Blazers held onto the ball much better this game, only having 14 turnovers instead of the 30 that they allowed last game. And even in that game, you could tell that the Clippers offense wasn't great, because having that type of advantage on the turnover mark, and I think they only scored 116. And people say, oh, that's only 116. Yes, because the Clippers are a team that don't really score well, So just cutting those down, 16 turnovers down, that was huge. We got to the free throw line the same amount of time. We didn't hit our free throws particularly well, but I'm not really worried too much about the free throw percentages right now. Of course, people are still getting, into their rhythms and all that. So we'll see. I'm sure that number will definitely be creeping up as the season progresses. But just this game, man. The fourth quarter was pretty much more of the same. Blazers were just pulling away, led by Dame, had a huge fourth quarter in my opinion. He only ended up scoring 25 points, but when you're blowing teams out by 19 and you have your guy Dame scoring only 25 points, where Paul George puts up 42, but only Luke Kennard has double figures. And then you have the Blazers, who have Norm Powell and Nurk and CJ and Dame and Zeller. So you have a whole balanced offensive attack. These were the types of games last season where if we didn't have it going, we would lose by a lot. You know what I'm saying? And we only shot 42% from the field. So our three ball kept us in the game, and just building on the lead. And then that defense, we ended up having 8 steals. So we're getting in those passing lanes, making it tough for the players. Even Paul George was having a tough time in that fourth quarter, especially. He was getting shots off, but he was getting shots off towards contested Blazers. Blazers were contesting his shots a lot better in the second half, in my opinion. He was getting pretty loose and open with it in that first half, and he was making the Blazers pay. But even though he was making us pay, there was no one else that was making us pay. So this game is definitely, to me, one of the best games that the Blazers have played in these 5 games so far in terms of defense. And it was just beautiful to watch to me. To me, this is their best game of the season so far because of the way that they played on the defensive end, their rebounding, their interior defense. These last 2 games especially has been beautiful to watch. Guys were trying to get shots in the paint, but they were either heavily contested, like air balls, or hitting off the backboard, and then we would get the rebound and start running, and it was just beautiful to watch. It's funny to say that the Blazers, after the last few years of being so trash on the defensive end, to be able to have games like this, and it's because of your defense, is just proof that coaching matters a lot, you know, because any player can be coached into playing solid defense. You know what I'm saying? It's keeps being proved this season. Our 3 wins are blowouts. You know what I'm saying? The one game that we did end up having a close game, we fell a little bit short, but that was a little bit because Harrison Barnes was out there balling, but they also had a little bit more balanced scoring attack than these Clippers did. You know what I'm saying? So when you're starting to play that great defense, and not all of this is luck, man. Not all of this is luck at all. These guys are playing, they're not being beat out of their positions, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're not getting taken off the dribble. If they do, the help is getting there on time and helping to contest, or having guys make bad or tough shots that they're not really known to be making. That's the type of plays that you want to see consistently from this team. Yeah, we don't have guys that are 6'3" or 6'7" or 6'8" like that, but you don't need that, and it was shown tonight. But this is your boy P Money. Tell me what you guys think, and I'm off this.